Hi, this is a presentation by Edn, Chloe, Tyron, Mike and Katrina. A quick guide to our teaching resource, Rhyme Time. Our task for this assessment was to create a teaching resource on the subject of our choice. We decided to choose English, in particular rhyming, which is introduced in foundation year and reinforced in year 1 and 2 as stated by the Australian curriculum. To understand this task, we first had to understand what authentic learning is and how we could create an authentic task. As a group, we discussed what an authentic task meant to us individually and thus be able to successfully create one. Our authentic task will be for students to explore rhymes and create their own flashcards, which they will then share with a Year 7 buddy class. Using the words created on the flashcards, the students will then work in groups of 4 to create their own rhyming verse as a PowerPoint presentation, which will then be collated into a digital storybook by the teacher for the students' parents and their Year 7 buddy class to watch. For students, exploring rhyme creates variety in their knowledge of language and helps facilitate creativity in constructing their own text. Using PowerPoint presentations stimulates a real-life task which can be ongoing as students progress with their skills on the computer. Our group initially met in our classroom and formed the Facebook group Edn113, which allowed us to communicate quite successfully on a number of occasions, including many conversations on Facebook to establish what needed to be done and when. Our group also gathered at Katrina's house, where we elaborated on our idea on focusing on rhyming. It was there that we investigated different types of resources we could use to help complete this task. We investigated the Australian Curriculum Council to understand what students are capable of when learning rhyme in years 1 and 2. To create a variety of resources for students to be exposed to, not only use our technology-based resources, we agreed that using classic authors such as Dr. Seuss and Roald Dahl to reach students is another means of rhyming. We also found a number of websites, including the ABC Splash website, where games can be played, and a number of YouTube videos, which can be found on our wiki. We used Facebook constantly as a means of communication between our group. It was through communication over the internet, class time and meeting in our own personal time around the dinner table. We decided to divide the tasks by the marking rubric to ensure equal participation. Before any group member began creating something for this task, as a group we discussed it first so that we all had input into the outcome. As a group we discussed authentic learning, but Chloe was responsible for turning out our dot points into sentences. Mike was responsible for managing our homepage, but we all made points on what we would like him to add. Katrina was responsible for checking individual lesson plans to ensure they flowed together, and Tyron was responsible for creating the teacher resource pages. Excuse me. Before the peer review date, our group met up again and discussed creating this presentation and what should be included into it, and Edn wrote the script for us. And I, Katrina, am recording it this evening. Overall, our experience in participating in a group assessment assignment was rewarding but challenging. It was difficult to always find time and a place to meet as we all live in different areas, but we overcame this by using Facebook and email. Our wiki meant that we could all have a shared site, which meant that all the work was accessible to be changed, expanded and corrected by each of us. All work was a group effort, and most beneficial factor of this task was that we were exposed to many different resources for rhyming, which we were unaware of initially. Please enjoy exploring our wiki. Read the homepage from top to bottom to understand what our wiki has to offer and what we're all about. I'll just take you back there before I finish, if the computer lets me. No, it's not going to let me. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the website.